Hello again, dear learners. This is the video number 3 in the Unit 8, Our Cultural Heritage. This is the unit for the first bac students. We are going to learn now how to write a biography paragraph. Now let's start with the content or the goals. We have warm-up activity. What is a biography? What are the elements of a biography paragraph? What is the structure of a biography paragraph? Example of a biography paragraph. And last one, you are going to write your own biography paragraph. Now let's start with the warm-up activity. Let me ask you a question. Can you write or talk about someone that you really love, or someone who is famous? Or can you imagine or think about someone or a name of someone that you can write about him or her? That's nice. So you are going to choose one person, then I'm going to teach you how to talk about this person in the form of a paragraph. Now let's start with the question number 1. What is a biography? So it means, what is the meaning of biography? Biography comes from two words. So it is the combination of two words. We have bio means life, then we have graphy means writing. Biography means a form of writing about life of someone. A biography is a history of someone's life. Biography contains important facts about a specific person. For example, childhood, education. It also talks about the interesting experiences of that person. It informs us about his or her childhood, important events, and their lives and their personalities. Now, what are the elements of a biography paragraph? So it means, if I want to talk about someone, what are the things that I have to bear in mind? Number 1, so we are going to start with the name of the person. For example, we have the name and the last name. For example, Barack Obama. So we have the name and the last name. The date and place of birth. For example, we can say he or she was born, and we can start with the day or the month, then the year. And also we can talk about the place, in London, in Morocco. Number 3, we are going to talk about the family. He and she has or had one sister and one brother. So it means how many brothers and sisters did he got or get. We can talk about the father, the job of the father, the job of the mother. Childhood. So it means how did he or she spend his or her childhood. So it means you are going to describe his life or her life when he was a kid or a child. For example, he lived in Morocco. He spent his childhood with his parents, with his maybe grandfather. He was brought up by, so it means you can talk about who are the people that took care of him. Let's start. Then we have education. You are going to start with the date and the place of education. For example, we have primary, secondary, and university, and you can talk about the name of the schools and the date and the place too. For example, she studied science For example, you can talk about the domain or the field of studies. In you can write the year and also the place. He went to school in, you can write the year here, 2001. She attended a public school or a private school. He wanted to be, so it means his or her dreams. She is interested in, so what are the hobbies in his or her free time. He graduated, so it means finishes his or her studies, and you can write the date of graduation. Next one we have job, so it means work. Job, work, or other project or interest. He was a famous writer, so you can write or mention what are the name of the books that he or she wrote. He wrote many books, like she first worked as, for example, a teacher, a journalist, a doctor. Then he became an engineer, a writer, teacher, football player, etc. Then we move to marriage. He married in, you can mention the year and also the place. And also you can mention the person that she or he got married to. She never married, she was single, etc. Children. He had one daughter and two sons, one son. She didn't have any children. What he or she famous for. So it means what is a specific characteristic of that person. For example, here we have kind, talented, great writer, helpful, intelligent, generous, etc. Then you can talk about the last one is death. He died on, you can start with the day and the month and the year. She or he died at the age of 64, etc. He was 67 years old when he died. Now let's move to what is the structure of a biography paragraph. So it means what is the organization, what is the first thing that I'm going to start with, etc. We are going to start with the title. For example, you have a paragraph. You have to write a title of this paragraph. The topic sentence, detailed sentences, concluding sentence. Now let's start with the title. The aim or the function of the title here is to attract the reader's attention. For example, you can find a paragraph and the title of this paragraph like Moroccan scholar, best football player ever. So title, so it must be brief and it must attract the attention of the reader. Now the topic sentence. As we have done in the first semester, we talk about what is the structure of a paragraph. We have to start with the topic sentence. It means a sentence in which or that present the main idea of the whole paragraph. So which is the first sentence or the sentence number one in the paragraph. For example, here we can mention in the topic sentence the name of the person. Why do you choose him or her? For example, Muhammad Abu Talib was a great scholar. So I wrote here the name of the person and why? Because he is a great scholar. Okay. Now detailed sentences. So it means I give more explanations and more examples. The function of detailed sentences is to describe the early life and his career. So it means his or her childhood, family, job, date and place of birth, education, job, marriage, how did he or she become well known or famous, and his or her death if he or she died. The last one, concluding sentence. So it means I finish or I conclude my paragraph. So I'm going to write one sentence here for concluding sentence. So it means you are going to restate why he or she is a very important person. So it means you are going to say it again, but in different way and briefly. For example, here, we will always remember him for his love and passion. Now here we have a great example. There are many paragraphs, but I choose this one because it is very simple to you to understand what is a biography paragraph. I think you know her. She is a famous actress. Her name is Salma Hayek. Now this is a very simple example of a paragraph. I'm going to read it now, and then we are going to find the title, the topic sentence, detail sentences, and concluding sentence. Salma Hayek, a star. Salma Hayek is a Mexican and American film actress, director, and producer. She was born on September 2nd, 1966 in Mexico. She's married and she has a daughter. Her brother is a designer and her father is an opera singer. At the age of 23, Hayek played the lead in Teresa, a Mexican TV series. So it means she was the main actor or the lead in this TV series, Teresa. In 1991, Hayek moved to Los Angeles, California to study acting. She appeared in many movies, including Desperado with Antonio Banderas in 1995. In 2003, Hayek produced and directed The Maldonado Miracle. Salma Hayek is clearly one of the most popular actresses. Now this is the paragraph, and I think that you find the elements. Okay, we have the title is Salma Hayek, a star. So very brief. We have the topic sentence here. Salma Hayek is a Mexican and American film actress, director, and producer. So from this sentence you can know what is the whole idea or the main idea of the paragraph. We are going to talk about an actress, a Mexican, and she is a producer, and her name is Salma Hayek. Then detail sentences. So it means detail about her life, childhood. She was born on September, etc. So here we have date and place of birth. She is married. We have family and marriage. Her brother is a designer and her father is an opera singer. So here we have family. Then at the age of 23, she played the lead. Here we have work or job or career. In 1991, the same. Yes, we have career here. To study acting, we have studies. She appeared in many movies, including Desperado. We have her work and also her job. And the last one, concluding sentence. Salma Hayek is clearly one of the most popular actresses. So it means here I restate what I said in the paragraph, but in different way and briefly. Now remember, when you are going to write a biography paragraph, remember to use the third person. So it means he or she. So you are talking about someone, so it means you are going to use she or he. Respect the chronological order of the events and dates. So it means, for example, if an event happened in 1995, so I'm going to start with it, Then I'm going to move to the next event that happened in 1996. Okay, so it means chronological order. Next one, put all the verb in the past tense. So it can be in simple past or past continuous. So it means don't use the present or the future. We are talking about something that happened in the past. Now it is your turn. You are going to write biography. You are a writer, remember. You are going to write a biography paragraph about a person that you love, someone that inspires you, or someone who is famous. So you are going to start with this graphic. Then transform these information into a paragraph. Who, it means what is the name of this person, birth, date of birth, and date of death, and also you can add the place, the early life, it means a childhood, education, his or her characteristic, what is he or she famous for, or here his work and project, where in the word is, so it means the place of living, fun facts, or you can add any fact about him or her, and his or her characteristic, etc. Now I am going to give you some names of people that you can write about them, but you are free to choose any person that you like. For example, here we have Nizha Bidouan. She is a famous athlete, a Moroccan athlete. And here we have Oprah Winfrey. She is the icon of TV. She is a great and successful journalist. We have William Shakespeare. He is an English writer, poet, and also a playwright. We have Rafael Nadal. He is a tennis player. We have Mark. He is the person who creates the Facebook. We have Barack Obama. He was the previous American president, or President of America. We have Shaibia Talal, you know her. She is a Moroccan artist. Also we have Alal Al-Fasi. So he was a leader, and he is a great person, and he has a great contribution to Moroccan independence. And here we have the famous writer Mohammed Shukri, and his famous novel is Al-Khubz Al-Hafi. And you have Nelson Mandela. He was the president of South Africa, and he stood against discrimination, and he is famous for his quote, "Education is the first weapon that you can use in order to change the world." And you have here Nicholas, or Nick James. He was born with disabilities, but now he is a famous public speaker and motivator. So he motivates people to accept themselves and also to fight difficulties in life. We have here Che Guevara, or Ernesto Che Guevara. He was a physician, and also he was a writer or author, and he was the Marxist revolutionary leader. He is a great person. Now these are some examples. You have the right to choose any person you like. Thank you so much for your attention, and don't forget to stay at home and stay safe.